Welcome. This video is to help you in how to use your one-screen interactive board. Now this board, we are so fortunate, so lucky to be getting these into our core teacher groups. So if you were one of the lucky ones and you got this board, this video is going to help you with the very basics. Now I'm going to give you some tips on this. While you're watching this video, this training, I want you to listen carefully, and I want you to have the board with you. I want you to have it so that way it's plugged in and ready to go. We're going to tell you to pause the video at times, and we want you to practice what we're showing you. That way you can go in and do the same things that we're showing you, and you can practice on your own device. It's almost like having us with you in a one-to-one training. So I want you to feel more confident with this. And when you're doing this board and you're going to hook it up for the first time and use it, make sure you practice. Use this training. Go through the different parts and get comfortable with the board. All right. Welcome. Now we're going to talk a little bit about connecting your device to the flat panel. I want you to notice my finger right up here where I'm connecting this to the touch component. Notice the USB. It says touch right there. That's going to give you the touch capabilities. On the side of the bar right here has the VGA in. And I move that VGA in and I'm connecting it to my laptop. For those of you that are fortunate enough in the high school that you have the HDMI, you're going to be using the HDMI cable to connect your device directly. On the side here, you also have a VGA audio in. It's like that little mini plug. And you notice it in the box, you have that long cable with the mini plug on each side. One connects to the laptop, one connects to the flat panel. So make sure you do take a look at that also, if you want the audio to come out from the flat panel. All right, and I want you to notice the side. Here are your Wi-Fi antennas. Be careful with these because these are what gives you that Wi-Fi connection, and without them you might lose that capability, and it's so easy to reach back here and unscrew one and take it off. So be very careful and constant and make sure that students are not near this area. Look at the bottom here. Now in the bottom here you have your VGA connection in. That's the VGA in. Here you have the mini plug. Now this mini plug is the audio because VGA does not carry an audio source to it. And so I'm going to physically hook that up to my laptop, and I'll show you that in a moment. And underneath here you have the different video components. Now yes, you have the VGA here, but you have the HDMI connections down here. And so again, my high school teachers, those that with the Dells or you have a laptop with the HDMI, you're going to be using the HDMI connection at the bottom. But you don't have to use the mini plug because the HDMI has both the video and the audio. Now I'm going to show you my laptop here. Now I have three connections coming in. I have that VGA that's right here. And then on the side here I have my USB and my mini plug. I'm using the VGA. If I was a high school teacher, I'd only have the HDMI coming in as well as the USB touch. Now remember, the USB touch gives me the capability of touching the screen as if it was a touch screen, which it is. All right, very good. Now that I showed you how to make those connections and connect your device, this is what I want you to do. I want you to pause your screen and pause this video, and I want you to practice. Take about 5 minutes or so. I want you to connect your cables in. I want you to turn on your flat panel and make sure you're getting the connection. Again, pause the video and practice connecting your device hardwired into your flat panel. Thank you. All right, now we did show you the connecting points on the sides and the bottom and how to connect the cables. And so some of the things that you're going to have is you're going to get a little box. It's going to have the USB cable. Remember, that's the one with the touch. Now the VGA cable is when I'm hooking up with the Mac, because I have a Mac and I have the adapter to hooking up with the VGA. Remember, this one is on the side. And you also have HDMI cable, especially those people by high school. Remember, this is the audio and the video, both in one cable. And you also have that mini plug that's connecting the audio, and that's also on the side. So if you're using a VGA cable, make sure you use that mini plug if you want the sound to come from your board. Put these in a safe place. That box that it comes with, you might want to keep it all together. Tuck it in a good safe place because it does have the tendency to disappear. You also have a remote with the batteries. Now, I know a lot of times once we get it going, we just power it up and we turn it on. But still, you have the remote and just keep it in a safe spot. So those are the accessories that you get with the device. You also get a pointer. This actually allows you to go ahead and touch the screen and click on as you're using it. Notice how it clicked and goes. I call it the glazed donut wand. That's because if you're eating glazed donuts, you don't want to be touching your screen. And going to the screen, just use a soft cloth, like a terry cloth, something really soft, fairly moist to wipe it off. Don't use Windex. Don't use anything strong on it. Use something very, very mild, and I'm telling you to use water, please, to wipe this. But if you're eating those glazed donuts, this is a great tool to have. All right, so I'm hoping that you've already got your cables connected. I'm hoping that you practiced it. I'm hoping you got your laptop already connected. And so now let's go to the second step. Let's turn on our device. I could use my remote, but I can also hit the power button. And so there it turns on. Now, if your device doesn't turn on, if you look right underneath, there's a little toggle switch. That might be turned off. So that would be where you go. Now, you use the toggle switch on long weekends, on holidays that we're not going to be using the board for long periods of time. Then it's time to go ahead and click on that toggle switch. But if this a Monday, you're going to be using the board on Tuesday, this is a good switch to use. It just kind of puts it into a sleep mode, and then you can just turn it on real quick by just clicking on it, and it comes up to the screen. And so this is the main screen as it turned on. Notice right here, I'm going to use the glazed donut one. These are the different inputs that we have. You have HDMI 1, 2, and 3. Underneath here was those connections, and you'll see where those connections go. It's 1, 2, and 3. Here's that VGA, just like I'm connecting into right now. Notice the settings here and the Chrome. Think of this, I know it's big and fancy, but I want you to think of it like a tablet. Kind of like your cell phone that you can touch and use. The great thing about it, though, is its size. It's so much bigger, and your students will get a great clean view with it. And so it does have, like your phone, like your tablets, it has apps on it. And so that's what they're talking about here. So this Chrome, even if I didn't have my computer connected to it, that's the Chrome browser. Now, would I use it on a quick fly? Maybe. Why not? But really, the workhorse, the good equipment, is your laptop that you have. That laptop is much more powerful than this here. But can you use it? Of course. In fact, I want you to practice using it. So you have it. Now, right now, my device is connected, and I'm going to power it on. So my computer is turning on in a moment. And I want you to notice up here on this screen. And in a moment, whatever's connected and whatever's going. So for example, let's say I have a document camera. I can connect that document camera right under here with that HDMI cable, or I can use that VGA cable. And then if I want to switch from my computer to the document camera, I would just pick the different switches that I have. And so that would make the connection. All right, so very good. So we were talking about your document camera. You would hook it directly into the flat panel. Don't do that where you toggle it between your device. I'm recommending that you hook it up to the flat panel. And then that way you can bounce back and forth between the devices. All you have to do is hit home, which is a home button, is right here, and you see a little picture of the home, and you click on it. Now, notice my computer's turned on, and you can kind of see a preview of that screen. If I had a different account, I would be able to click on the document camera. When I clicked on it, on the main circle, on the main square, it opened up my desktop. That is the screen from my device. All right. Now that I have the USB connected to my computer, that gives me my touch capability. I have my audio cable, I have my VGA cable. So now once I turned it on, I clicked in, and I want you to notice I can move and I can use this device. I want you to think of this kind of like a huge trackpad that you can use. So if I wanted to open up Chrome, I would just double click on it and let it open up. So now this is what I want you to do. I want you to hit the pause button. I want you to start practicing that touch capability. Open up Chrome, open up Google Classroom. Just try different things so that way you can get the feel of the board. So go ahead and hit pause now. All right, I hope you practice using your device, using the screen as your touchpad. Please make sure you practice as you're going through this lesson. Now the next thing is, I'm on top of my computer. This is my desktop. What if I'm on a web page and I want to annotate? So I want you to notice this arrow right here. When I click on it, it opens up like a slide. But kind of think of it like a window that's on top of your desktop. And so you're not really writing on your desktop, you're writing on that window that's on top. You're annotating over the desktop. So when I click on it, I can click my pen. And then notice how you get your tools down here. Here I have my pen. I click on it. Notice how you have the different tools. I have black and the different colors. I can control my line thickness. And so I click on it. And there it is. I am writing away. Oh, my shirt got a hold of it. Notice how I'm going to do my fingers. It did 5 at one time. In fact, it'll even get more. It will get even up to 10. So you can have multiple students up at your board. Now, at this time of COVID, I would not recommend having a group of kids up here. We're still going to follow that 6 feet. But I just wanted you to know that you had that capability. Now, notice the eraser. Now, the eraser gives me the option where I can erase my board. You see how I can do that all over? You also have the sweep function. And I can go ahead and erase the entire screen. So at this point now, I want you to go ahead and I want you to pause and I want you to practice annotation. Now, I showed you where the annotation tool was, where you can click on it, but I want you to notice something else. When I click on it, it slides open. Now, this will take you back to what you've done previously. Notice the home button? The home button will take you back to home, just like this button took you back to home. Now, here, right here where it says that little 1, you know how on your phone or on a tablet you have multiple applications going? This is where you can click on that 1 and close the different applications that you have running. Remember, it's just like a tablet. It's just like your phone. Okay, now down here you have your settings into the system. When I click on it, notice how you have the different settings that you have. And we'll get to that in just a little bit. Below that you have the annotation tool. That when you already practiced, I hope you paused. And then here, this is the audio, so you can control the audio level of the device. Notice how you have the panel up here, and I can slide it louder or down. I open it up, and then you also have the brightness. So here are the tools that you can have by just flicking your finger from the middle, going to the arrow on the one side, the right side of the board, or even on the left side. So you can do that from whatever side of the board you're on. So take a few minutes, go ahead and pause your video, and I want you to practice those different components. So I'm hoping that you practice a little bit and you're following with me on the different parts of the slide out, the annotation tool, the settings, and all that, audio up, audio down, the brightness. I hope you've been practicing. Now, let's say I want to go into the applications that are on the flat panel. Remember, it's like your phone, it's just like your tablet. So if I click in here, and I'm going to hit the home button. Just like if I hit the home button here, it's the same thing, it just took me here. And I want you to notice by selections here. Remember, these are your video inputs and audio that you can control. Let me go back home. I'm going to use the button now. And then over here, I want you to go ahead and notice the applications, the apps. Now does it look like your phone? Now does it look like your tablet? Yes, you have some tools here. You have the Chrome browser, but it's not as powerful. It's not as fast as what you have in your computer mod, in your own computer, your laptop. But you do have it, just so that you know. The files that are on the device, here's the file manager. Now, here you have your iMirror, you have YouTube, you even have a different browser over here. You have Google, you have a Whiteboard app, you have Excel, so you have some applications. And some of you are going to be tempted. Oh, I'm going to put Google Classroom on it. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So go ahead and take a few minutes, pause your screen, and I want you to go ahead and play with the different apps. Yeah. Awesome. I hope you had the opportunity to play with it a little bit with the applications, but one thing I want you to show you is eShare Server. Yes, there is a way to connect your device wirelessly, and you can connect it and make it work, but we don't recommend it. There's going to be a lot of possible issues. There might be students that have their own cell phones that connect to, and so all of that makes it where it could be quirky. It might not work the way you want it to work. And so we recommend highly that you hard cable your device to the unit. And then that way it's more consistent and it's not having any issues with you. So get started. This is the way I want you to get started. But also over here you have your settings. So when I click on settings, this is what you have. Yes, this is wireless. I can go into Chrome, and so it has a Wi-Fi to it, and you want to connect it. Again, just like your phone. Again, just like your tablet. Notice the network right here. When you click on that, the one that you want to look for is the Wi-Fi. Don't worry about all the other stuff. Don't even worry about that. When you click on Wi-Fi, you're going to see all the Wi-Fi that's available. If you don't see anything Wi-Fi here, the first thing I would do is look on the side. Remember those antennas I showed you that to be careful with. Make sure that they're already there and they're not disappear from you. But then you can go in, click on the YISD SSID or that network, and then you can make sure that you're connected. Okay? I'm going to hit cancel. If it's not connected, maybe the board just got disconnected and you need to reconnect, you would click on the YISD and then just put in the password. And we all know what that is. If you're not sure, you ask just one of your students. Even they know, typically. So I want you to go in, and I want you to play with the settings a little bit. Don't change anything. I just want you to go in and look. So let's go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to play with the settings. But again, I just want you to see, but not really mess with it. Just click in to get comfortable. Hit pause now. All right. Now, I hope you got to play with it a little bit. Now, I've got a challenge for you. We're going to open up the Chrome browser on the device. And I have a couple of ways to get there. I can hit the Chrome browser from here. I could go to apps, open up the apps, and then hit the Chrome browser there. But I'm going to go from here. I'm going to click on Chrome. And it opened up. But notice nothing came up, so I'm going to hit the plus sign. and it open up a new tab, new window. And I'm going to do a search. So I'm going to type in here, and notice when I click in, the keyboard kicks in. And so I'm going to type in water cycle. So here's the space bar. And I've got my water cycle. So I'm going to go ahead. And then there it's going. It's just a web browser. And I'm going to find one. Okay. Let's pick this one. Open it up. Let it set. Doesn't that look nice on this board? Maybe I want to use this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click. So what I did was, I know I messed up a little bit. That's okay. You're going to do that too. It just wouldn't go. But what I did was I held down, I put my finger down, and then this window came up. So I'm going to download this image. So I'm going to click download. Continue. It's asking if it's okay to put the storage and access to that. I'm going to hit continue. All cool message photo media files on your device. I'm going to put allow. And see how it's downloading? And it's going into the device. Now, it has memory here. If you have a memory stick and you put images on the memory stick, you can also connect that image and pull it from this component right here. You have a little USB connection, and I can click it on there and put images that way. But I'm using the board itself to populate that image. Now, when I click on this X, it's going to close the tab. There you go. I went ahead and closed it. And I'm going to go ahead and go back home. Remember how you go home? I can hit this home. I can hit that home. I can flick on that side. I can go home. I can flick up and go home. But I'm back here. Notice the File Explorer. I can go here. I can also go in Apps, and I can go into the File Manager here. So you see, there's a lot of different ways to get it, but I want you to keep in mind, this is like your phone. This is like your tablet. Now from in here, this is my internal storage. So now I'm going to go in. Where would it be? Do you see it? There it is. All right, thank you, Misha. There's a download folder. It was right in front of me and I didn't see it, but that's okay. I'm going to click on it. There's my water cycle that I just downloaded. If I want to go back, I'm going to go back. So what I want you to do now is I want you to pause the video. I want you to go into the system. I want you to go into the Chrome browser. You can go from home in the Chrome browser here, or you can use the Chrome browser that you have on your device, on the tablet in the front. It's the same place. Now I want you to find an image that you want to annotate over. So right now, go ahead, pause, find an image, and download it. Make sure you practice. Thank you. All right, well, I'm hoping you practice. I hope you found an image. So now I'm back in my home screen. I'm going to go ahead and open my apps. And on the apps, you have one that's called Whiteboard. So I'm going to open this up. It's a blank page. But I want you to notice a couple of things. You have your tools right here. You have your pencil. You have the eraser. This is a select tool. Undo, redo. And then this gives you some settings. I'll show you that in a minute. And then you have the wipe. So what it does, it wipes the board on that. Let's go ahead and I'm going to hit the pencil. I'm going to pick my color. And I'm going to put a number 1 on it. Let me pull up my sleeves real quick. And so here's my number 1. When I go to the second page, so now that's the second page. Notice it's 2 of 2. What I did was I hit the plus sign first. I was trying to go to the second page, but I had to create it first. So I hit the plus sign. So now I'm going to put this one as a 2. There you go. If I want to go back to 1, I can go back to 1. See how I'm back with the 1? First page, second page. Let's say I want to add another screen. Remember that image that you downloaded? Remember when we went to Chrome and we found an image I wanted you to download? I hope you did it. So if I click into this 3 dots here, notice I have options. I can save it. I can save my work as I go. Maybe I'm a math teacher and I'm doing math problems up here. And I want to save the work for another time. I can hit save. But what if I wanted to put a picture? I want to annotate over. Remember that one that we created? So I'm going to hit insert picture. I'm going to go into internal. And it gives you some. But notice the ones that I downloaded it twice. But I'm going to go ahead and click it in. And there I have it. So there's the picture I've selected. If I want to make it bigger, take the 2 fingers from corner to corner and stretch. Watch me do this. I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to stretch it out. If I want to annotate over, I have my tools that I can use. So if I want to go ahead and talk about the mountains, I want to talk about the rain that's coming down. I want to talk about the air coming back up. And I have my clouds. So I can annotate. So I want you now to practice. I want you to pull up your image. I want you to set up 3 slides. First one, second one. Then I want you to bring in your image. And then I want you to write on top of that image. So go ahead and hit that pause button now. Alright, so now if I wanted to erase some of my stuff, here I have the erase button. Now, notice I have 2 different options. Now in this one, if I go ahead, I can put a circle and erase what's within that circle. It picked up everything and erased it. Did you see how I did that? Because I selected the picture by putting it in that circle. But what wasn't part of the circle was the arrow up and down. So if I want to erase those completely, I'm going to put a circle around it. Poof, it's gone. So got to be careful with that circle tool. Whatever it touches, it's going to remove. And since it touched that picture, it's going to remove that picture. So I'm going to go ahead and write on it a little bit more. And I'm going to erase a piece of that. And I'm not going to use the circle. So I'm going to click on it here. And I'm going to use just a straight eraser. I'm not using the circle capability. So now, if I erase, notice that little box? And I can erase any specific component that I want to erase. See how that worked? So if I want to go back, that was the third one where I brought the image. There's my number 2 page. And there's my number 1 page. Oh, let me clean that up a little bit. There you go. If I want to just do a wipe of the entire screen, just in one big hit, notice that little brush. So when I click on the brush, it erased that entire screen. But let's go back into page 2. The 2 is still there. It only did that page 1. So the room only does that 1 page. Now, notice the 3 dots again. I'm just going to a new page. I'm going to add a page from here. I'm going to click on the 3 dots. And notice how you have different choices here. I can save as, I can bring a QR code, I can hit send, I can close the app. And we did the insert picture. But notice the background here. And that gives you different options on what the background is going to look like. Right now, it's set up to white. But what if I want lined paper? I have lined paper now I can use. If I want to go ahead and I want to do, see how that's really good? And I want you to practice with this. I want you to give it a try and try the different backgrounds. So what I want you to do now is I want you to pause the video and try the different backgrounds. All right, good job. Now, I just kind of took you to just the basics of the whiteboard. But I want you to notice something. Right here is a toggle switch. Do you see it right here in the corner? When I click on it, it takes me back to my background. That could be my computer. That could be any page I want to use. It could be from the Chrome browser that's right up here. But whatever it has, I still have my tools that I can use. I can annotate over those tools. Just like I was doing from here and using those annotate tools. They're a little bit different. This one gives you a little bit more capability. So there's the tools itself. I'm going to go ahead and close it. I'm going to go back home. And I'm back into my system. All right. Right now, that is my computer screen that you see. If I want to open it up, I could click on it. We talked a little bit about the inputs from home. Right now, that's my VGA. We talked a little bit about the annotation, the apps. We talked a little bit about the settings. Now, we went pretty fast on this, and I'm hoping you went through this slowly and paused and practiced. But if you get confused, you need help, this screen has something called Guru. And in the Home button, when you click in Home, notice this green button here. And since this is connected to the internet, when I click on Guru, it's going to actually connect to a support team from one screen. Somebody will be able to come on, access your screen, and actually be able to help you. If you have a question about something, you need help on doing something that we went over, or it's just not working properly, don't hesitate. Use the Guru. Click on it. So that's a support mechanism you have. I'm not going to interrupt him right now. He might be helping somebody else, so I'm not going to do it. And there's many different gurus. It's not just one. And so I want you to know that that's a support site. Now, I know it's a session I wanted you to go through, but I also wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much for all you do. I want to say thank you for connecting with your students, giving your students that opportunity to learn from home and at your campus. And this is an amazing and great tool. If you need some help, you need to reach out to us. Please don't hesitate. We have our very own Misha Daniel. I'm Larry Snyder. And you can actually find us on our Google Meet. We have a meet that goes on from 8 to 5 daily on workdays. And it's bit.ly/YISD Innovative Learning. Again, thank you for all you do. You are our heroes. God bless.